live in times of great change. But there could be none more challenging than the eventual and logical time when the exo-elephant in the room, hangar, underground vault, or the elephant in the room that hangs, suspended in midair, and has done so since the middle of the last century, eventually takes an almighty dump, and the inevitable and unavoidable stink will spread far and wide the second that paradigm shift hits the fan.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Butane in my veins and a mouth to cut the chuggy with the plastic eyeballs. Spray paint the vegetables, dog food stalls with the beefcake pantyhose. Kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Stock car flaming with the loser and the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Got a couple of couches, sleep on the love seat. Someone came saying I'm insane to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your fruit stands and burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it.
And as written in the Elvisian prophecies, mankind has not made it easy for taking on board global issues, let alone extraterrestrial ones. And the governments of mankind have not made it any easier by maintaining the rule of secrecy, which has led to a mutual division, where the government sees the people as the enemy of the state, and the population sees government as untrustworthy, corrupt and a self-serving network of nepotists, suspicious of anything the government does or says. And with good reason. So the state are on a sticky wicket when the time comes to tell the people the truth about the hovering elephants. And unless they can fit the disclosure in the 10-minute slot between Saturday's episode of Ex-Celebrity Big Brother Island Factor, and before the lottery results, and assuming the adverts and Torah don't prove to be more attractive diversions than the single most important and potentially world-changing event in human history. Well, apart from that day when a few of them nailed a carpenter to some wood. And man, that went on and caused a few people a bit of trouble. But anyway.
Get right if you can't relate. Trade the cash for the beef, for the body, for the hate. And my time is a piece of wax falling on a termite who's choking on the splinter.
Unless they can at least get over the hurdle of getting the attention of the population, and convince them this time. This time it's the truth. Really, truly. This time no messing. Number really, honestly. Listen, we are your government. Trust us. Unless they can't get past that, they don't have a prayer. And if you can manage to get that primetime 10-minute piss break. The truth is, whether they come to bring us peace, prosperity, divine love and enlightenment, or to boldly probe like Noah has been probed before, then the response, my friend, would be the same response you get to end global poverty, exploitation, destruction of biodiversity, extinction of species, invasion, human rights, torture, genocide, displacement of people, eradication of habitats, child labor in third world countries, the legalized policy of misogyny and oppression of millions of women sanctioned by religion and state, famine, starvation, government corruption, government nepotism, government secrecy and conspiring deception, state conspiring against the people, judicial corruption, organized widespread pedophilia, law enforcement corruption, global finance corruption, stock market corruption, exploitation of children, imprisonment of children, child executions. Just the tip of a satanic, Midasaurian ugliness that renders it invisible and a cognitive dissonance that ensures it continues and thrives. And many of those things are happening now. This very second. It says something about our world that it should survive the Dark Ages. But that this is the 21st century and it still survives, is not good. Not good at all.
Cut the juggy with the plastic eyeballs. Spray paint the vegetables, dog food stalls with the beefcake pantyhose. Kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Stock car flaming with the loser and the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Got a couple of couches, sleep on the love seat. Someone came saying I'm insane to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your food stamps and burning down his real.
The reason why that shit is happening is the same reason why God had to be talked out of suicide. Twice. And why it seems he's been in rehab since the turn of the century, and we don't have a prayer. It's the same reason as the response you get to any of that shit. With apologies to the king, but to paraphrase his seminal treatise, which complete title escapes me, but it could have been something like Conflicts of Materialism and Mind. Subtitled The Duality of 20th Century Consumerism. Taking stock in the economy of soul survival and the expense of misplaced investments in the scam of objective material possession. Chapter 1. Well, it's 1 for the money. 2 for the soul. 3 to get ready. Now go. Cat go. Chapter 2. Well, you can knock me down. Slap my face, slander my name all over the place. You can do what you want. You can do what you like. But I couldn't give a shit about another soul's shite, so don't you get none near the sole of my blue suede Nikes. But completely revised in 2010 to Chapter 1. No one fucking cares. Chapter 2. Which part of number 1 fucking cares don't you understand in Chapter 1? Chapter 3. A little less conversation, a little more action.